And printing the pose for the first race, the first division of the 2-year-old filly pace, Ohio Sire Stakes, first leg. Being brought to the post by outrider Kathy Hawk, a pace of 1 mile, a purse of $20,000. Win, place, show, exacta, trifecta, first half of the early daily double. A field of 10, drivers change on the 9, Bang Bang Sister. The driver is Jeff Nysonger. Number 1 is Come On Susie Hang On, owned by Michael Metters and Jerry Sommers. They're both of the Buckeye State, trained by Mike Metters with Jamie Dunlap. Number 2 is Jenny from the Block, owned by Brown Washburn Parcel of Upper Sandusky, Ohio, trained by Brian Brown, Brett Miller. Number 3 is Park It Ashley, owned by Robinson, Mondillo, and Cheatham. They're of Ohio and Tennessee, trained by Delvin Criswell with Bob Harper. Number 4 is Cassava, owned by Greg Grismore and Thomas Cummins. They're both of the Buckeye State, trained and driven by the Grizz, Greg Grismore. Number 5 is Cam's Bright Light, owned by Brambley, Oaks, Posty, and Cox. They're all of Ohio, trained by Scott Cox with Todd Jones. Number 6 is Pan and Teller, owned by the Peter Pan Stables Incorporated of Pepper Pike, Ohio, trained by Ivan Sugg with Jay Duke Sugg at the lines. Number 7 is Lowbro Sammy, owned by Kenneth Bright of Warren, Ohio, and Betsy Bright of Stevenson, Alabama, trained by Jim Artledge Jr. with Dallas Miller. Number 8 is Dressy Gal, owned by Cindy Nasty of Utica, Ohio, trained by Mike Roth, Dave Hawk. From the outside of the 9 is Bang Bang Sister, owned by Todd Braskett of London, Ohio, and Roy Bradley of Sedalia, Ohio, trained by Todd Braskett with the driver's change to Jeff Nysonger. And scoring from off the second tier, number 10, Tammy Lou, owned by the Gwenny Lou Stables Limited of Xenia, Ohio, trained by Travis Redden. Sam Chip Noble III is in her sulky. That's the field for the first race, first division of the 2-year-old filly pace. Race, first division, 2-year-old filly pacers, first leg of Ohio Sire Stakes action, down to a field of 9 with a scratch of the 2, Jenny from the Block, lame. The gate swings into the back stretch. Getting set to kick off the early daily double, field in motion. They're all fan pacing and firing away in the middle of the track. There goes the 6, Pan and Teller from the inside. There is Park It Ashley as they drive into the first turn and over to the opening quarter. From the way outside, there is Bang Bang Sister. Away in fourth is Come On Susie Hang On. And along the inside from off the second tier in fifth, that is Tammy Lou. Sixth on the inside is Cassava. Seventh on the inside as they race towards the opening quarter is Cam's Bright Light. Then we come back to the 2 trailers, which are Dressy Gal and Lobros. Sammy and Dallas can see them all. As they move by the opening quarter came and went in 28 2/5, and they'll pass by the stands for the first time and head on down to the half. And Come On Susie Hang On in Dunlap has brushed her to the top here as they roll under the half, roll under the wire with 5/8 of a mile remaining. Come On Susie Hang On with the lead. Park It Ashley is in the garden spot, racing in 2. Pan and Teller is racing in 3rd. First to flush of the outside, racing in 4th. That is Tammy Lou, who is towing along Cam's Bright Light as they race around the clubhouse, turn it over to the half. They're halfway home here in 58 3/5. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4 and on top of the field. Come On Susie Hang On with the lead here and leads it by a length and a quarter. To the inside, stalking in second, that is Park It Ashley. First over on the rim, racing in 3rd, that is Tammy Lou. Second over on the outside, racing in 4th, that is Cam's Bright Light. To the inside, buried in 5 is Pan and Teller. Third over on the outside, racing in 6, that is Dressy Gal. As they approach the 3/4 mile mark of the race, 3/4 on the board in 1:27 2/5. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. And Come On Susie Hang On to the inside with the lead here. But up on the outside, racing into, that is Tammy Lou. And Tammy Lou is breathing down her neck as they turn to the top of Heartbreak Lane. Less than 1/8 of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come. Come On Susie Hang On to the inside. Tammy Lou has struck the frontier. But Come On Susie Hang On is battling back as they drive within the final 16th. Tammy Lou remains undefeated and takes the first division of the 2-year-old filly pace Ohio Sire Stakes. Finishing second was the 1, Come On Susie Hang On. It was close for third. The top of the mile, 1:57 1/5. Tammy Lou with a new lifetime mark. Trackside of the winner's circle to be greeted by Chrissy Fount, as she'll do throughout the afternoon. Here's the 10, Tammy Lou is undefeated in her early career here. Now 2 of 2 in 2003. Is a 2-year-old bay filly by Park Place out of a Gwenny Lou. She by Stonebridge Skipper. Is owned by the Gwenny Lou Stables Limited of Xenia, Ohio. Trained by Travis Redden. Nicely handled here this afternoon by winning driver Sam Chip Noble III. Remaining undefeated. 2 of 2. Lifetime mark 1:57 1/5. Tammy Lou. in the winner's circle to make the trophy presentation to the winners here, the Director of Racing at Scioto Downs, Stacy Christie. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, it is my honor to introduce to you the former track announcer here at Scioto Downs. In the voice of Hoosier Park, here's Steve Cross.
Thanks, Jason. Horses are on the track and parading to the post for this afternoon's second event, Ohio Sire Stakes action. 3-year-old trotting colts and geldings. First division, purse $20,000. A field of 9, there are no changes. 1, PJ's Vintage, owned by Patrick Huber, and Jay Scott of Ohio. Don Feaster drives. 2, CSI Turn and Burn, over the CSI Farms of Hickory, North Carolina, with Jim Pantliano. 3, Final Legacy, over Gary Reynolds of Crestline, Ohio, the driver Dan Reynolds. 4, Dawn's Flyby, owned by John and Betty Shaw of Mount Vernon, Ohio, Don McCurgan driving. The 5, Stillbrook, owned by Beaver, Geiler and Condit of Ohio, for driver Ron Steck. 6, Magic Chris, owned by Dinah Malone of Waterford, Ohio, for Dave Hawk. The 7, Sterling Spur, owned by Houghton, Shapiro, and Gooden of Ohio, the driver Brett Miller. 8, Shout, owned by Ron and Linda Randall of Berlin Center, Ohio, James Joyner in the bike. And the 9 is Sandy Crown, owned by Alfred Schurler and Robert Stewart of Ohio, Jeff Fout in the sulky. Exacta trifecta, wager 3-year-old trotting colts and geldings on and behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch for the start. There they go. They're off and trotting, stepping away between horses. Final Legacy takes the early call from the outside. Sterling Spur showing early trot towards the inside. CSI Turn and Burn. PJ's Vintage is away 4th. Inside 5, Dawn's Flyby, 2 lengths in 6th. Stillbrook, another 2 lengths 7th to Magic Chris. 2 for the back, Shout, and Sandy Crown is the early trailer. Around the turn to the quarter-mile marker, it's Sterling Spur on the front with the lead parked out as they reach the quarter-mile marker. Final Legacy there on the inside, playing a little hardball. Opening quarter, a quick 27-4 as they slug it out past the stand. Sterling Spur on the front, now to the inside. Final Legacy driving on, taking command. So Final Legacy is now the leader. Sterling Spur ducks in behind a second. Here's CSI Turn and Burn on the inside 3rd. Out and moving comes Dawn's Flyby. That one some 4 off the lead. Down to the inside, PJ's Vintage trotting in 5th. Then comes Magic Chris moving to the outside, just off the cover. Down to the inside, it's Shout. They trot the half in 58 seconds, and onto the backstretch they go with Final Legacy leading the way. Sterling Spur on the inside is now trapped in 2nd. Here's Dawn's Flyby. First up on the outside, there goes Magic Chris. 3 wide on the outside, CSI Turn and Burn. Locked and shuffled on the inside is 5th out, but gapping cover PJ's Vintage. Down the backstretch and on the front with the lead, it's Final Legacy. There on the outside, Magic Chris to pressure in 2nd. Off stride, Dawn's Flyby. They trot 3/4, 127-1. Around the turn, Final Legacy on the front, clear and free, a length and a half. Magic Chris is there, ready to pounce from 2nd. Sterling Spurs, some 4 lengths for the back in 3rd. CSI Turn and Burn on the inside is 4th. Final 1/8 of a mile to go. It's Final Legacy clinging to the lead. Here's Magic Chris coming at him and coming on. Magic Chris on the outside. Magic Chris to take a short lead. Final 16th, it's Magic Chris at the wire. Final Legacy finishing 2nd. Sterling Spur up for 3rd, 157-4. To the winner's circle, winner of the second race, number 6, Magic Chris. Magic Chris, 3-year-old gelding by Cam's Magic Trick from the Santa Style mare Nola Christine, owned by Dinah Lynn Malone of Waterford, Ohio. Guy Malone trains, well driven here by Dave Hawk. It is the 5th seasonal victory for Magic Chris. A record mile 157 4/5. Magic Chris takes the first division, 3rd leg of Ohio Sire Stakes. Trackside making the blanket presentation, General Manager of the OHHA, Jerry Knappenberger. Second race official.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the horses are stepping to the track for this afternoon's third race, the second division of the 2-year-old filly pace, Ohio Sire Stakes. The first leg, a pace of 1 mile, a purse of $20,000, exactas and tries, a field of 9, no changes. The one is What Took You So Long, owned by Jim Kiesel of Litchfield, Ohio, and Thomas Deans of Wellington, Ohio, trained by Jim Kiesel with Randy Tharps. Number 2 is KF Park Special, owned by Henry You Can Call Me Hank Kaufman and Michael Metters. They're both of the Buckeye State, trained by Mike Metters with Jamie Dunlap. Number 3 is Clover All Over, owned by Marvin Klein of Streetsboro, Ohio, who also does the training. Brett Miller at the lines. Number 4 is Icon's Falcon, owned by Kevin Mead of Nelsonville, Ohio, trained by Augusta Barnhart with Bill Long Jr. Number 5 is Bay Place, owned by Calvin Lamb of Marion, Ohio, trained by Jim Pollock Jr., Jeff Fout. The 6 is The Firm Truth, owned by Diana Lynn Malone of Waterford, Ohio, trained by Guy Malone with Dave Hawk at the lines. The 7 is Cheery, owned by Lauren Paul Baker of Galloway, Ohio, trained by Jim Artledge Jr., Dallas Miller. The 8 is Parkamount Missy, owned by Eilert, King, Bills, and Banky. They're all of the Buckeye State, trained by James Banky II with Donald Sensabox. And from the outside of the 9 is Mary Lou Can Do, owned by Davis, King, Gray, and Arnold. They're all of Ohio, trained by Brandon Piggott with Bob Harper in her sulky. That's the field for the third race, second division of the 2-year-old filly pace. Second division, 2-year-old pacing fillies, Ohio Sire Stakes. First leg, a field of 10. Swings, or field of 9 rather, swings to the back stretch. They're getting set for a start. This field is in motion. They're all fan pacing and going right for the lead. There goes Clover All Over. Driving up from the outside, there's Parkamount Missy. Justice Plantier coming away, racing in third. That is Icon's Falcon. Fourth on the inside is KF Park Special. To the inside, coming away in 5 is What Took You So Long. Sixth on the inside, that is The Firm Truth. As they race around the first turn, and off stride went Parkamount Missy on a bad break there, but she's out of harm's way as they pace around the first turn and over to the opening quarter. On top of the field, that is Clover All Over through an initial quarter of 28 seconds, but up on the outside, Icon's Falcon and Bill Long Jr. to the front end. Icon's Falcon leads the way here by 2. Clover All Over is tracking in second. Along the inside, KF Park Special is racing third. Fourth is What Took You So Long. First over the outside in 5, back down paces a Parkamount Missy. Along the inside, racing in 6th. That is The Firm Truth. A swing to the outside in 7th is Bay Place, and the 2 trailers here are Cheery, and a swing to the outside is Mary Lou Can Do as they step around the clubhouse turn and halfway home in 58 2/5 off an initial quarter of 28 seconds flat. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4 and on top of the field. Leading the way, that is Icon's Falcon. Leading it here by length and 3/4 to the inside. Clover All Over still right there in the garden spot, going along in 2, and now swung up 3 wide to the outside. Here comes Bay Place. Middle of the racetrack there is Parkamount Missy, and along the inside, KF Park Special is buried at the rail as they approach the 3/4 mile mark of the race. 3/4 and 1:28 3/5. They'll pace the final turn and head for home, and Icon's Falcon on the front end here, leading it by a length and a half. Clover All Over took a shot at her from the pocket, and Icon's Falcon has responded well here and opens up by 3 as they turn to the top of the stretch. Less than an eighth of a mile to go, and down the stretch they come, and Icon's Falcon, the 2-year-old bay filly by Falcon's Icon, is rolling away as they come to the wire. Icon's Falcon is going to take the second division of the 2-year-old filly pace Ohio Sire Stakes. 1:57 4/5. Icon's Falcon. New lifetime mark. Third race, second division of the 2-year-old filly pace, Ohio Sire Stakes. First leg, timed at 1:57 4/5 to establish a new lifetime mark. Here's the 4, Icon's Falcon, a 2-year-old bay filly by Falcon's Icon out of a windward side. She by Troublemaker is owned by Kevin Mead of Nelsonville, Ohio, trained by Augusta Barnhart. Nicely handled here this afternoon by winning driver Bill Long Jr. The 4, Icon's Falcon, new lifetime mark, 1:57 4/5. In the winner's circle to make the trophy presentation to the winning connections here, the third race, from the Ohio Standardbred Development Fund, Mr. Bob Smits.
the former champion Old Blue Rooster leading the horses to the post for this afternoon's fourth race. Second division, 3-year-old trotting Colts and Geldings Ohio Sire Stakes action. A field of 9 at 1 mile. Purse $20,000. There are no changes. Here's a look at the field. The one, Son of a Preacher Man, owned by Steck, Thistle, Condit, and Smoke of Ohio. Ron Steck, the driver. 2, Rose Run Editor, owned by Ron and Linda Randall of Berlin Center, Ohio, with James Joyner. 3, Give Him the Axe, owned by Geiler, Wingfield, Zanikas, and McCoy of Ohio, for Sandy Beatty. The 4, Golden Riddle, owned by Murray, Sherman, Walter and Lizer of Ohio, Brett Miller aboard. 5, Flawless Strike over the Second Chance Stable, and Veneri of Ohio with Chip Noble. The 6, Baloney Lips, owned by Fred Polk of Zanesville, Ohio, for Bob Harper. 7, End the Chase, over the Wyandotte Golf Course, Centerburg, Ohio, and York of Granville, Ohio. Del S. Miller drives. 8 is Over the Wire, owned by Dean Davis and Jack Bradford with Kurt Sugg. 9 is Before Long, over Joan Mace of Washington Courthouse, Ohio. Dave Hawk in the sulky. Exacta Trifecta. Pick 3 wagering. Fourth race post. Fourth race, 3-year-old trotting Colts and Geldings, all in behind the gate. They're on the backstretch and approaching the start. And they're off. From mid-track, it's Flawless Strike first out for the lead. From the outside, Baloney Lips, and from the inside, Son of a Preacher Man. Coming away between horses as they drive into the first turn, it's Rose Run Editor down to the inside, gapping 5, Golden Riddle, followed 6th by End the Chase. Early 7th is Over the Wire. Give Him the Axe was off stride in the early going, is back trotting, second last. The trailer is Before Long. Trotters in straight alignment as they trot to the quarter, 28-1. On the front with the lead, it's Baloney Lips. Baloney Lips leads by a length and a half, 2. On the inside, Son of a Preacher Man in the pocket. Second, Rose Run Editor is there, gapping 2 lengths in third. For the back and fourth, Flawless Strike. Golden Riddle trotting in fifth. Then comes End the Chase. He's 3 lengths for the back. Over the Wire, third last. Give Him the Axe, and the trailer off stride is Before Long. Around the clubhouse turn to the back stretch they go. Baloney Lips leads the way, and the Son of a Preacher Man continues to stalk the leader in second. Half was 58-1. On the inside, trotting in third, Rose Run Editor. He just 3 off the lead. Down to the inside is Flawless Strike, gapping fourth. Here comes Golden Riddle moving up on the outside, and with him comes Over the Wire as he follows the live cover flow. Down the back stretch to 3/4 now, and on the front, Baloney Lips continues to lead a length and a half. Son of a Preacher Man yet to move from second. Here comes Golden Riddle charging up on the outside, now third. Over the Wire is right there, drafting along in fourth, 3/4 27-1. Midway to the turn, on the front, Baloney Lips by 2. On the outside, Golden Riddle. Off stride is Baloney Lips. That one on a break. Golden Riddle is there to pick up the pieces on the outside. Golden Riddle, but here's Over the Wire. Final 8th of a mile to go, and it's Golden Riddle inheriting the lead. Golden Riddle by 2. Over the Wire on the outside is closing with every stride. To the finish, it's Golden Riddle. Golden Riddle by a length. Over the Wire finishing a second. Give Him the Axe may have been up for third. 1:58-1. Stepping trackside, winner of the fourth race, second division, third leg of Ohio Sire Stakes action. The 4, Golden Riddle. Golden Riddle, a well-bred 3-year-old colt by Striking Sabra, that of our second by Meadow Road. Owned by the partnership of Murray, Sherman, Walter, and Leisure of Ohio. Kent Sherman trains, and Brett Miller is the winning driver. It is the third seasonal victory for Golden Riddle. This, a lifetime best, 1:58, 1/5. Making the trophy presentation, Mr. Sherman, who was a past president of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association.
Well, the horses are stepping to the track for this afternoon's fifth race, the third division of the two-year-old filly pace, Ohio Sire Stakes. This is their first leg, a pace of 1 mile, a purse of $20,000. A field of 10, win, play, show, exacta, trifecta wagering, no changes. The one is Towner's Gator Gal, owned by George Burkhold of Sarasota, Florida, trained by Mike Campbell with Bob Harper. The two is Beacon Hill Misty, owned by Lovett and Lovett of Bell Fountain, Ohio, and Stillwagon, trained by Mike Metters, Jamie Dunlap. The three is Standing Happy, owned by Botter, Plain City, Ohio, and Levan of Lewistown, Ohio, trained by Herb Levan with Ron Steck. The four is Anita Rush, owned by Craig Blatchford and Ashley Sutton of Mantua, Ohio, trained by Ron Potter with Danny Noble. Number 5 is Rhinestone Cotty, owned by Thomas and Doug Ryan of Mount Vernon, Ohio, trained by Doug Ryan with Brett Miller. Number 6 is E.T.'s Lizzie, owned by Irwin Boating Enterprise Limited of Shaker Heights, Ohio, trained by Earl Bowman with the Grizz, Greg Grismore. Number 7 is Not a Day Goes By, owned by Milton Lehman of Blacklick, Ohio, trained by Jim Artledge Jr. with Dallas Miller. Number 8 is BJ's Gone Country, owned by Amabel Patel, Springfield, Ohio, trained by Marty Willem with Kyle Later. From the outside of the 9 is Diagonal Road, owned by Scott Cox and Ronald Posty. They're both of Ohio, trained by Scott Cox with Randy Tharps. And scoring from off the second tier is number 10, Megabell Delight, owned by Veneris of Columbus, Ohio, and Veneris of Willoughby, Ohio, trained by Joe Veneris with Dave Hawk, Ian Hersalke. That's the field for the fifth race. Third division, two-year-old filly pacers, Ohio Sire Stakes. First leg, a field of 10, swings to the back stretch. Not a Day Goes By is way off the gate and off stride. Field in motion. Being sent on their way. They're all fan pacing and firing away. Middle of the track, there goes Standing Happy right alongside. That is E.T.'s Lizzie, who's driving out for command. Coming away, racing in third, that is Towner's Gator Gal. Up the outside, looking to drop in fourth, that is Diagonal Road. In there, racing in fifth, that is Beacon Hill Misty. Sixth on the inside is Anita Rush. Seventh there along the inside, that is Rhinestone Cotty. Eighth is BJ's Gone Country. Ninth is Megabell Delight. And 10th and trailing the field, still off stride, is Not a Day Goes By. As they reach the opening quarter came and went in 28 and 2/5, and they'll pass the stands for the first time and head on down to the half. And on top of the field, E.T.'s Lizzie and the Grizz leads it here comfortably by 2. To the inside, Towner's Gator Gal is racing in second as they roll under the wire with 5/8 of a mile remaining. Diagonal Road is along, racing in third. Fourth on the inside is Standing Happy. First over the outside, racing in fifth. That is Beacon Hill Misty, who's towing along Anita Rush here as they step around the clubhouse, turn it on over to the half. And on top of the field, E.T.'s Lizzie has got away from him here by 2 1/4 as they reach the half. They're halfway home in 58 and 4/5. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4. And on top of the field, E.T.'s Lizzie leads them down the backside of this headwind here. Up on the outside, Beacon Hill Misty is now grinding it out. First over the outside, racing in 2. And Beacon Hill Misty looked at the leader of the eye and went right on by. Up on the outside, Anita Rush is now came into second. Along the inside, E.T.'s Lizzie could not go with them in third as they reached the 3/4 mile mark of the race. 3/4 in 1:27 and 4/5. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. Over to the inside, Beacon Hill Misty, but to the outside, Anita Rush rushes right on by as they turn to the top of Power Alley. Less than 1/8 of a mile to go, and down the stretch they come, and Anita Rush is absolutely cruising away from this field. She's very impressive here. Anita Rush, the 2-year-old bay filly by Perfect Art, is rocking away. It's Anita Rush in front. Finishing second of the mile was the one, Towner's Gator Gal. It was very close for third. The top of the mile, a very impressive 1:56 3/5. Anita Rush out of the Ron Potter stable for driver Danny Noble. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here she is stepping trackside of the winner's circle in her debut. A sensational freshman pacing filly here, number 4, Anita Rush. A 2-year-old bay filly by Perfect Art out of a Maggie Simpson. She by Simcoe Hanover, is owned by Craig Blatchford and Ashley Sutton of Mantua, Ohio. Trained by the red-hot Ron Potter. Nicely handled here this afternoon by winning driver Dan Noble. First career start, home a winner, 1:56 3/5. Anita Rush and Danny Noble. 4192 is now official. 4192 is now official.
sixth event. It is the third division 3-year-old trotting colts and geldings Ohio Sire Stakes. A field of 9, a purse of $20,000. There are no changes. And here are the horses. The 1, Rose Run Elvis, owned by Ron and Linda Randall of Berlin Center, Ohio. Dan Ross, the driver. 2, Pop Pop, owned by Donna Jean Anderson of Circleville, Ohio, with Brian Weaver. 3, Striking Murph, over the Kita Farms, and Patricia Wollum of Ohio. Don McCurgan drives. The 4, Bad Boy Leroy, owned by Don Elmer of Elmore, Ohio, for Dave Hawk. Number 5, Becoming Over, owned by Ron Steck and Robert Chapman of Ohio, the driver Ron Steck. Number 6, Naptown Whiz, over the White Creek Stable, Dublin, Ohio, the driver Ray Paver. 7, Rick's Victory, owned by Carter and Easterday of Londonderry and Chillicothe, Ohio, for Steve Carter. The 8, Rose Run Expert, owned by Kinsley, Latichen and Smith, with Jeff Smith. 9, Anastasia Zip, owned by Joe Urban of Mercer, Pennsylvania, Jim Pantliano in the sulky. Exacta, Trifecta Wagering. Third division 3-year-old trotting colts and geldings on the backstretch. Nearing the start. And they're off. Rick's Victory sent hard for the lead from mid-pack, Becoming Over with early speed. To the inside, Striking Murph trots out in third. Inside fourth, Rose Run Elvis. Pop Pop looks to duck in 5. 2 lengths in sixth, Anastasia Zip. Another 2 lengths seventh, Naptown Whiz. Parked out eighth is Rose Run Expert. And the early trailer following a break is Bad Boy Leroy. Approaching the first quarter-mile marker, Steve Carter has Rick's Victory on the front. The lead is 2. Opening quarter, 28-1. Charging up on the outside, challenging, and now taking command. It's Rose Run Elvis. So Elvis moves to the front, takes the lead by 2. Rick's Victory on the inside, trots in second. Becoming Over is now back to third. Striking Murph is 2 lengths off in fourth. Pop Pop gapping in 5. Anastasia Zip is a closer 6th. Naptown Whiz fishing for cover to the outside, followed by Rose Run Expert, and the trailer is Bad Boy Leroy. At the half and 57 seconds onto the backstretch, and it's Rose Run Elvis. That lead is 2. Rick's Victory on the inside, trots in second. Becoming Over, yet to move from third. Striking Murph is there, trotting in fourth. Pop Pop gaps in 5. Naptown Whiz waits no more, is now sent after the leaders as they move down the backstretch, approaching 3/4. Rose Run Elvis has opened that lead, an easy 4-length advantage as they reach 3/4, 1:26-2. Rose Run Elvis leads the way. Rick's Victory on the inside, chasing in second. Becoming Over tips to the outside after the leader in third. As they come to the top of the stretch, it's Rose Run Elvis. The lead still 3. Rick's Victory on the inside. They've less than 1/8 of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come. Rose Run Elvis, but trotting up on the outside. Here's Rose Run Expert. Rose Run Expert, Rose Run Elvis. They come to the wire together. They're there. A very tight photo in 1:57-3. Photo for win. Sixth race official. Trackside official winner of the third division Ohio Sire Stakes, the 8 Rose Run Expert. A 3-year-old big gelding by Ombre Laser out of special measure by Supergill. Of Kinsley, Layton and Smith of North Carolina, Texas, and Ohio. Jeff Smith, the trainer driver. Final surge for Rose Run Expert. Earns him a win, a record win, his second of the season, 157 3/5. Trackside making trophy presentations, Dr. John Mossberger. He's the current president of the OHHA. Rose Run Expert returns $20.60 to win, $4.80 to place, $4.20 to show.
Horses are on the track and pretty the post for the 7th race, the 4th division of the 2-year-old filly pace, Ohio Sire Stakes, first leg. A pace of 1 mile, a purse of $20,000. Win, play, show, exacta, trifecta wagering, a field of 10, no changes. The 1 is Noble Martha, owned by Larry Cleland of Bainbridge, Ohio, trained by Keith Haynes, with Keith Haynes at the lines. Number 2 is Ladyland Sam, owned by Jack Shearer of North Lawrence, Ohio, trained by Scott Cox, Randy Tharbs. Number 3 is Word on the Street, owned by Charles Stein of Cortland, Ohio, trained by Pat Smith with Dave Hawk. The 4 is Amazing Place, owned by Bay Racing Stable, Polly, and Campbell. They're all the Buckeye State, trained by Mike Campbell with Bob Harper. The 5 is Sand Delaney, owned by Bill Sanders of Stevenson, Alabama, trained by the Sandman, Ty Loy, Brett Miller. The 6 is Sweetie Petey, owned by Sandra Seperneri and Terry Mount Pleasant, both of Ohio, trained by Bill Mount Pleasant with Jim Pantoliano. Number 7 is One Fast Trek, owned by Stonex, Schultz, Krippendorf, and Vigiano of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, trained by Scott Mogan with Sam Chipnoble III. Number 8 is Jetstream Cute Cam, owned by James Wampler of Kettering, Ohio, trained by Joe Essig, Jack Daly at the lines. From the outside of the 9 is Cam's Midnight Star, owned by Ruth Taylor of Chillicothe, Ohio, trained by John Ackley with Greg Grismore. And scoring from off the second tier is number 10, Broadway Ashley, owned by Patricia Smith of North Royalton, Ohio, trained and driven by Bill Irvine, Ian Hersulke. That's the field for the 7th fillies, Ohio Sire Stakes, first leg. A field of 10, swings to the back stretch, getting set for a start. Field in motion. They're all fan pacing and firing away. Middle of the track, there goes Word on the Street. From the inside, there is Noble Martha. From the outside, there is Cam's Midnight Star. As they drive around the first turn and over to the opening quarter, and a royal scramble for command as they wheel by the opening 8th and over to the opening quarter. And off stride went Jetstream Cute Cam as they roll towards the quarter, and on top, Cam's Midnight Star. And the Grizz clears to the frontier. Noble Martha will yield for a garden spot, racing in second. Along the inside, Word on the Street has come away in third by the opening quarter, and a very hot 26 4/5. Along the inside, racing in fourth, that is One Fast Trek. Fifth is Broadway Ashley. Sixth is Sweetie Petey. Seventh is Sand Delaney. Eighth there along the inside is Amazing Place. Then we come down to the 2 trailers. Jetstream Cute Cam is who is back down pacing and trailing the field. Ladyland Sam as they step around the clubhouse, turning on over to the half. On top of the field, Cam's Midnight Star leads them here by a length and a half. To the inside, Noble Martha's right there in the garden spot, racing in two as they reach the half. They're halfway home in 57 2/5, and now rolling up on the outside. Here comes One Fast Trick, and One Fast Trick clears to the front end here as they roll down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4 and on top. One Fast Trick quickly opens up here by 3.5, 4 lengths. To the inside, Cam's Midnight Star could not go with her in 2. Locked in along the rail. Racing in third is Noble Martha. First over the outside, racing in fourth is Broadway Ashley as they reach 3/4 and 125 4/5. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. And One Fast Trick is on top here, leading it by 7 lengths as she turns to the top of Heartbreak Lane all by herself. Less than an eighth of a mile to go. And down the stretch she comes. One Fast Trick, the 2-year-old bay filly by Cam's Magic Trick out of a fast exit mare. She by Towner's Big Guy in her freshman debut. Rolls within the final 16th on top by 10. One Fast Trick and 156 flat. Finishing second was the 5 Sand Delaney. Third was the 1 Noble Martha. Again, the top of the mile, 156 flat. One Fast Trick in a debut. Home a winner. Trackside of the winner's circle. In a very impressive effort here, timed in 156 flat. Here's the 7 One Fast Trick. A 2-year-old bay filly by Cam's Magic Trick out of a fast exit. She by Towner's Big Guy. Is owned by Stonex, Schultz, Krippendorf, and Vigiano. They're of Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Trained by Scott Mogan. Nicely handled here this afternoon by winning driver Sam Chipnoble III. That's 2 wins on this afternoon's card for Chip, giving him a driving double. In her freshman debut, she's a home winner in 156 flat, number 7, One Fast Trick. In the winner's circle to make the trophy presentation, the Vice President of Scioto Downs Incorporated, Mrs. Laverne Hill, along with the Administrator of the Ohio Standardbred Development Fund, Mr. Doug Thomas.
Afternoon's 8th race at Scioto Downs. Preferred trotters, purse of $8,500, a field of 9, no changes. Number 1, Sackcloth, all by Moore, Easterday and Reed of Ohio, Steve Carter, the driver. 2, Laredo Cosmos, of John Howard of Morgantown, West Virginia, with Brett Miller. 3, Really Suspicious, owned by Ivan Sugg of Deshler, Ohio, with Duke Sugg. 4, Miracle Sabra, owned by Arledge, Lehman and Winsky of Ohio and Massachusetts, Del Miller up. The 5, He's Striking, owned by Bart Glass and Robert Kaufman, with Dave Hawk. 6, Cyrano de Bergerac, owned by Linda Rankin of Columbus, with Dan Noble. 7, Tiff Tough Tag, owned by Norris, the WRL Stables, Can-Am Stable, and Lance, with Billy Herman. 8, Stars Mission, Doug Hunt, the owner, with Chip Noble. And the 9, Supreme Begonia, owned by Cheryl and Marion Haynes of Blissfield, Michigan. Cheryl Haynes in the sulky. Exacta trifecta wagering. 8th post time in 6 minutes. Eighth race trotters, field of 9, lining up, moving in. In the stretch, there they go, off stride, Really Suspicious. And they're off. From mid-track, He's Striking, fires hard for the lead. Cyrano de Bergerac coming away in second. From the inside, it's Sackcloth. Stars Mission with early speed is away in fourth. To the outside 5, Tiff Tough Tag. Trotting in sixth is Miracle Sabra. Early seventh, Supreme Begonia. To the inside, trotting eighth. As they round the turn, Really Suspicious, and the early trailer after the break is Laredo Cosmos. They reach the quarter-mile marker there in 28 seconds, and Hawk on the front with He's Striking. The lead is 3. Sackcloth reeling in that leader. To the inside, Cyrano de Bergerac is third. Fourth of the inside, Stars Mission. Here comes Tiff Tough Tag. First up on the outside, Billy Herman sends that one on his way with Miracle Sabra. Drafting along now, fifth on the outside, then a break of some 6 lengths to Supreme Begonia. Really Suspicious, back to the outside, moves into contention. He's off stride. As they reach the half, He's Striking. He's Striking by 2. Half was 58 seconds. Off the turn to the backstretch they go. He's Striking, still comfortable by 2. Sackcloth on the inside. Tiff Tough Tag, grinding it out to the outside, advancing to third. To the inside, trotting in fourth, Cyrano de Bergerac. And to the outside, Miracle Sabra continues to follow the cover in fifth. Stars Mission on the inside, trotting in sixth as the end of the far turn. He's Striking, has been there every step of the way. The lead is 3. Tiff Tough Tag is now second on the outside, trotting at 3/4, 1:27.1. Around the turn, He's Striking. The lead is 2.5. Tiff Tough Tag on the outside. Sackcloth, here comes Miracle Sabra. And down to the inside, Cyrano de Bergerac. Final quarter mile to go, and on the front with the lead, it's He's Striking, Tiff Tough Tag coming at him and coming on to the 16th pole. He's Striking, Tiff Tough Tag. Cyrano de Bergerac down to the inside to the finish. He's Striking, wins it ahead over Tiff Tough Tag. The fast closing, Cyrano de Bergerac. The mile 1:56, 4/5. Trackside official winner of this afternoon's 8th race preferred trot, the 5, He's Striking. He's Striking, 4-year-old gelding by Striking Sabra out of Taddy's Comer by Overcomer. With Bart Glass and Robert Kaufman of Kentucky and Ohio. Danny Collins trains. Dave Hawk is the winning driver. In just his second start of the season, a winner. He's 2 for 2, 1:56 and 4, equals a previous best. It's official. He's Striking, paying $4.40 to win. 340, 280. Exacta 5-7, $15.20, 15.20.
Horses are on the track and printing the pose for the 9th race. The first division of the 3-year-old filly pace, Ohio Sire Stakes, 4th leg, a purse of $20,000. Win place show, exacta trifecta wagering, a field of 10, no changes. Kathy Hawk brings them out. The 1 is Breezy Noel Melney, owned by the Horsemen's Financial Agency Incorporated, Premier Racing Stable Limited Liability Company. They're both of Illinois, trained by Amanda Smith with Dallas Miller. Number 2 is Whole Shebang, owned by Darwin Cates of Harrington, Delaware, trained by Brian Brown with Danny Noble. Number 3 is Lolita, owned by the Shamrock Racing Stable Limited of Silver Lake, Ohio, trained by Keith Cash Jr., Randy Tharps. The 4 is Beatty's Noble Lady, owned by Robert Nosey of Pleasantville, New York, trained by Virgil Morgan Jr., Brett Miller. The 5 is Vital Connection, owned by Millard Adams of Carlisle, Ohio, trained by Millard Adams with Jeff Ace Nicehonger. Number 6 is Jody Lynn Top, owned by Tamara Hoopler of Pataskala, Ohio, trained by Mike Metters, Jamie Dunlap. The 7 is I'm a Sam 2, owned by Joe Criswell, Marion, Ohio, trained by Delvin Criswell with Dave Hawk. The 8 is Tracy Lou, owned by Harley Jolliffe of Richwood, Ohio, trained by Gail Peterman, Bob Harper. On the outside of the 9 is a Walk in the Park, owned by Irwin Balding Enterprises Limited of Shaker Heights, Ohio, trained by Earl Bowman with the Grizz, Greg Grismore, and scoring from off the second tier is number 10, Peyton Place, owned by Bay Racing Stable of Delaware, Ohio, Polly and Polly of Gahanna, Ohio, trained by Mike Campbell. Sam Chip Noble III is in her sulky. A field of 10. Swings to the back stretch. They're in the hands of the starter. There they go. Field in motion. They're all fan pacing, and the first call goes to the 4. BD's Noble Lady, and Brett Miller is headed straight for command. From the outside, there is Jody Lynn Top. Driving way up on the outside, there is Tracy Lou. Coming away, racing in 4th, that is Lolita. Way in 5 is Whole Shebang. 6th on the inside, that is Vital Connection. Looking to drop in 7th is I'm a Sam 2. 8th is Breezy Noel Melney, and then we come down to the 2 trailers, Peyton Place and a Walk in the Park. As they step around the first turn and over to the opening quarter, and Tracy Lou and Bob Harper is clearing to the frontier through an opening quarter of 27 2/5. They'll march on by the stands for the first time and race on down to the half, and Tracy Lou with the lead here by length and a quarter. To the inside, Jody Lynn Top is docking in second as they roll under the wire with 5/8 of a mile remaining. As they bank around the clubhouse, turning on over to the half, and Tracy Lou is out there on the front end, leading it by a length and a half. Grinding it out first row on the outside, racing in second as they approach the half. That is Whole Shebang along the inside, racing in third. That is Jody Lynn Top. Second over on the outside, perfectly placed. There is Vital Connection as they raced by the half. They're halfway home in 58 2/5. Off the turn and driving down the backside, and we're double tiered here. We got 5 in and 5 out. Heads are pointed towards 3/4, and Tracy Lou is taking extreme pressure on the outside from Whole Shebang. Along the inside, Jody Lynn Top is watching these dueling leaders and ready to swing up 3 wide. That is Vital Connection. I'm a Sam 2 is third over there as they approach 3/4 and 126 2/5. They'll pace the final turn and head for home, and Tracy Lou has got a recall thus far. Up on the outside, Whole Shebang is racing in second and now swung up 3 wide. That is Vital Connection. 4 wide is I'm a Sam 2, and awaiting the passing lane, that is Jody Lynn Top. Off the turn and less than 1/8 of a mile to go, and down the stretch they drive in the first division of the 3-year-old filly pace. To the inside, Tracy Lou is being put to the test. Jody Lynn Top on the outside, but at the wire, Tracy Lou is holding sway. Finishing second was the 6, Jody Lynn Top. Third was the 4, BD's Noble Lady. The time of the mile, 155 2/5. Tracy Lou. She is continuing her awesome ways. The unofficial winner of the 9th race, the first division of the 3-year-old filly pace, Ohio Sire Stakes, 4th leg. Here's the 8, Tracy Lou. A 3-year-old bay filly by Park Place out of a neighboring She by Tyler B. Is owned by Harley Dwayne Jolliffe of Richwood, Ohio, trained by Gail Peterman. Nicely handled here this evening by winning driver Bob Harper. That's her 4th win in 6 starts. Home a winner in 155 2/5. Tracy Lou and Bob Harper. It's official. 8-6-4-5 is now official. 8-6 exacted, 251.40. 8-6-4 try returns $1,112.40.
Second division 3-year-old filly pacers, Ohio Sire Stakes at 1 mile. Purse $20,000. A field of 10. There are no changes. 1, Loeb's Player, owned by Charles Little and Joyce Wagner of Sunbury. Charles Little, the driver. 2, KF Pro's Finale, owned by Henry Kaufman with Jamie Dunlap. 3, Park Avenue Gal of Bart Glass and Glass Equine of Kentucky with Dave Hawk. 4, CC Spice, Chuck Campbell, the owner, with Jeff Fout. 5, Evier's Connection, owned by Bellinger, Klotz and Dayer of Ohio with Ray Paver. The 610 Forever, owned by Stephen Sexton of Xenia, Fort Chip Noble. 7, Lead with Maryland, owned by Ken Sommer of Ohio with Randy Tharps. 8, After the Dream, owned by Condit and Stack of Ohio, Ron Stack drives. The 9, Puff, owned by Mount Pleasant and Saponari of Ohio, Jim Pantaleano in the bike. The 10, Matt America, owned by winner Morgan and Gillen of Ohio, Brett Miller in the sulky. Exacta trifecta wagering. 10th race post time in 5 minutes. 3-year-old pacing fillets, Ohio Sires on the backstretch, approaching the start. And they're off, and there goes CC Spice as she powers out for the early lead from the outside. Puff, and from the inside it's Loeb's Player. Matt America with early position comes through in 4th of the inside 5. KF Pro's Finale. 6th on the inside is Park Avenue Gal. Racing is 7th. It's After the Dream. 2 lengths 8th. Evier's Connection. 9th of the inside. It's Tan Forever. Early trailer Lead with Maryland. Reaching the first quarter mile marker, 27-2. CC Spice, as anticipated, leads the way by 2. Loeb's Player on the inside 2nd. Matt America follows in 3rd. Parked out there 4th. Puff. KF Pro's Finale seals the gap in 5th. Outside, Park Avenue Gal takes the cover 6th, followed 7th by After the Dream. Into the clubhouse turn, CC Spice. The lead is 2. Loeb's Player on the inside continues to gap in 2nd. Matt America waits for daylight 3rd. They reach the half in 56-4. Around the turn to the backstretch, and Fout has CC Spice leading every step thus far. Loeb's Player, 60-1 shot of the inside, continues to gap in 2nd. Matt and America still locked in their 3rd. Now 3 wide. There goes Park Avenue Gal from 4th. Puff spent early between horses, beginning to tire 5th now to the inside and 6th. KF Pro's Finale. Outside moving 7th. After the Dream. Nearing 3/4. It's all CC Spice. The lead is 4. 3/4 and 124-4. Around the turn, CC Spice by 5. Now 6. Loeb's Player on the inside. Still there 2nd. Park Avenue Gal on the outside 3rd. Matt and American looking desperately for racing room. Less than 1/8 of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come, CC Spice. Well in hand, CC Spice beginning to tire, but it's CC Spice coasting to the wire. The battle for place, CC Spice at 153.3. Matt and America 2nd with Park Avenue Gal. She continues her winning ways here at Scioto Downs this afternoon. 2nd Division, 4th leg of Ohio Sire Stakes action. The 4, CC Spice. A bay fielded by In the Pocket of Speed Dialing by No Nukes. Homebred is owned by Chuck Campbell of Blissfield, Michigan. Rob Harmon trains, Jeff Fout drives. It is the 5th of the season for the talented CC Spice. 153.3 for the mile, just to tick off a previous best. Making the trophy presentation to the winning connections of CC Spice, Sinina Este. She is an OHHA director and owner and manager of the Springhaven Farms. CC Spice returning 240, 210, 210. The 410 exacta, $6.20, 620. 410.3 trifecta, $16 even.
At Ohio's showplace of racing, the horses are stepping onto the track for the 11th race, the 3rd division of the 3-year-old filly pace, Ohio Sire Stakes. This is their 4th leg, a pace of 1 mile, a purse of $20,000. Win, place, show, exacta, trifecta, late pick 3, wagering, races 11, 12, and 13, a field of 10, no changes. The 1 is Sheer Sabra, owned by Melissa Levan of Marysville, Ohio, trained by Herb Levan with Ron Stack. The 2 is Imperial Sabra, owned by Dean Davis of Wooster, Ohio, and Brenda Sugg of DeBerry, Florida, trained and driven by Kurt Sugg. The 3 is Honey's Bud Light, owned by Lavera Gillian of Massillon, Ohio, trained by Virgil Morgan Jr., Brett Miller. The 4 is Big Town Manners, owned by Jerome Grogan of Cincinnati, Ohio, trained by Calvin Wright with Trent Tharps. Number 5 is Marvel Sabra, owned by Beverly Bushelman of Franklin, Ohio, trained by Daryl Collins with Herbie Brown. The 6 is VC Queen, owned by Brummel, Ader, Richards, Montgomery. They're of New Jersey and Ohio, trained by Dan Ader. Kyle Waders at the lines. Number 7 is Perfect Lady Calfas, owned by Mr. John Calfas of Baldwin, New York, trained by Virgil Morgan Jr., Danny Noble. The 8 is Silver Dollar Star, owned by Donna Carver of Milan, Michigan, trained and driven by Gary Sutherland. From the outside of the 9 is Worthy Lady, owned by Ross of Cincinnati, Ohio, and Ross of Owensville, Ohio, trained by Charles Ross with a K-Man, Kane Kaufman. And scoring from off the second tier is number 10, Ellen's Trick, owned by Ellen and Mike Havens of Asheville, Ohio, trained by Jim Daly, the Grizz. Greg Grismore is in her sulky. That's the field for the 11th race, the 3rd division of the 3-year-old filly pace, Ohio Sire Stakes, 4th leg. Exactas tries, pick 3 wagering, a field of 10, no changes. The 10, Ellen's Trick, will score from the second tier post time promptly. And I mean prompt.
Down the hatches, though, it is getting rather breezy out here.
The 11th race, 3rd division, 3-year-old pacing fillies are all moving in behind the gate for the 4th leg of their Ohio Sire Stakes action. A field of 10 swings to the backstretch, getting set for a start. Field in motion. They're all fan pacing in a very even start here and going for the lead. The first call's going to the 2, Imperial Sabra, who's showing some early foot there. Right alongside is Honey's Bud Light. Driving up from the outside there is Perfect Lady Calfas. Got to the outside in 4th is Big Town Manners. Clear outside in 5. That is Silver Dollar Star. Along the inside there in 6th, that is Sheer Sabra. Along the inside racing in 7th, that is Ellen's Trick. 8th is Marvel Sabra. The 2 trailers here are VC Queen and Worthy Lady. The K-Man can see them all as they race by the opening quarter. The opening quarter came and went in 28 seconds flat. They'll march on by the stands for the first time and head on down to the half, and Honey's Bud Light is clear to the frontier. Big Town Manners looks like she'll be taking the long mile the outside in 2. Imperial Sabra's in the garden spot, racing in 3rd. Second over the outside, snagging that cover in 4th. That is Silver Dollar Star. Along the inside, racing in 5, Sheer Sabra. 6th on the inside is Perfect Lady Calfas, and she is absolutely buried in there as they race by the half. They're halfway home in 56 2/5, it looks like there, as they make their turn into the backstretch. Off the turn and setting sail down the backside with Honey's Bud Light on the front end tier as they head down the backside of this stiff headwind. On top, Honey's Bud Light with the lead by a length and a half. To the inside, Silver Dollar Star is right there in the garden spot, racing in 2 now, and backing through the field is Imperial Sabra as they approach the 3/4 mile mark of the race. 3/4 on the board in 1:26 flat. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. On top, Honey's Bud Light is on cruise control right now, leads it by a widening 5 lengths. To the outside, Ellen's Trick is now into 2nd and swung up 3 wide for the stretch drive is VC Queen. Off the turn in less than 1/8 of a mile to go, and down the stretch they come, driving through Power Alley, and Honey's Bud Light, the 3-year-old bay filly by Park Place out of a Cool Sabra, she by Falcon Almahurst, is on cruise control here. Honey's Bud Light in front. Finishing 2nd was the 6, VC Queen. 3rd was the 10, Ellen's Trick. Honey's Bud Light at 1:55 4/5. First half of the late daily double, post time 4:50, 14 minutes away.
Here are the horses for this afternoon's 12th race. Distaff Pacers at 1 mile, purse of $8,500. There are no changes. 12th race, pacing fillies and mares, all in behind the gate. The gate swings into the back stretch for the start. There they go. And they're off. Lemora fires hard from mid-track for the lead. Rapid Dash Gunny leaving aggressively from the outside. From the far outside, it's Siren away in third. Towards the pylons in fourth, Tweedledee. Inside 5, Start 8 Hall, followed to 6th by Similue A Priori. Then comes Tyrina's Best, and the early trailer is Bless Our Best. Distaff Pacers in straight alignment as they drive the turn, reaching the quarter-mile marker. Lemora is there first. Siren settles in behind second. 27-1 for the opening quarter. On the inside, third, it's Rapid Dash Gunny, 2 lengths in fourth. Tweedledee, followed by Start 8 Hall. First up now, Similue A Priori, and with that cover, it's Tyrina's Best, followed by Bless Our Best. Coming past the stands, they drive into the clubhouse turn. Lemora, the lead is a length and a half, 2. Dunlap has Siren on the inside, now trapped in behind second. Here's Similue A Priori to the outside, challenging for the lead. Half was 57 seconds. Off the turn to the backstretch, Lemora there at every call. Similue A Priori on the outside, pressuring now at the leader's wheel. Second, down to the inside, Siren is trapped in behind third. Outside second over Tyrina's Best is drafting along fourth. She's followed by Bless Our Best, who has the outer flow fifth. Down to the inside is sixth is Rapid Dash Gunny. Nearing three quarters, Lemora by 3 parts of a length. Similue A Priori there to the outside. Lemora on a break at 3 quarters, 125-3. So Lemora is out of the picture now as she is off stride. Suddenly Siren has the lead. Siren inherits the lead on the outside. Similue A Priori, she's off stride and she is down. Horse and driver down at the top of the stretch. Turning for home on the front with the lead. It's Siren charging hard to the outside. Comes Start 8 Hall. It's Rapid Dash Gunny to the finish. It's Siren. Siren will win it. Start 8 Hall finishing his second. Rapid Dash Gunny was third in 155, 3/5. Unofficial winner, the 8 Siren. Second, number 3, Start 8 Hall. Third, the 1 Rapid Dash Gunny. Trackside winner, the 8 Siren, a 4-year-old daughter of Abercrombie out of Sexplosion by No Nukes. Owned by Ellen Keith of Pawtuska, Ohio. Mike Roth trains Jamie Dunlap. And Alert Drive here, the winning driver. Second seasonal victory for Siren. Time of the mile, 1:55, 3/5. Make the drive.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the horses are stepping onto the track for the 13th and final race here on Independence Day. Win, place, show, exacta, trifecta, superfecta wagering, a pace of 1 mile, fillies and mares, a purse of $4,200, a field of 10, drivers change on the 6, Sarah Chili's Just, Jeff Nicehunger. The 1 is She's a Magic Girl, owned by Keaton of Morristown, Indiana, and Sanders of Franklin, Indiana, trained by Joe Essig with Jack Daly. The 2 is Tis Now, owned by Kathleen Borchers of Bellbrook, Ohio, trained and driven by Dean Collins. The 3 is Bibione, owned by Michael Graney and Noel Graney of Ohio and New Mexico, trained and driven by Billy Walters. Number 4 is Come On, Frankie, owned by Somers of Pickerington, Ohio, and Rhodes Jr. of Circleville, Ohio, trained by David Abbott with Jason Brewer. The 5 is Midway Dottie, owned and trained by John Bussey of Thornville, Ohio. Bob Harper is up. The 6 is Sarah Chili's Just, owned by the Doc's Kids Stable of Xenia, Ohio, trained by Mike McClellan with Jeff Ace Nicehunger. Number 7 is Ombro Alto, owned by Harold Lee and Harold Botter of Delaware, Ohio, trained by Michael Conklin with Danny Noble. The 8 is Yankee Splash, owned by Dorothy Gear of Lakewood, Colorado, trained and driven by Smilin' Joe Adamski. From outside, the 9 is Max Gwynn, owned by Turbulent Air Incorporated of Beaver, Ohio, trained by Seal and Harness, Jim Daly. And from off the second tier is number 10, Southern Miz, owned by the Darby's Edge Stable of London, Ohio, trained by Virgil Morgan Jr. Brett Miller is in her sulky. That's the field for the 13th and final. second half of the late daily double superfecta wagering. Field of 10 swings to the backstretch. Field in motion. For the afternoon cap, they're all fan pacing and firing away. Middle of the track, there goes Midway Dottie. Right alongside of that is Ombro Alto, who is driving out for command. Bibione is coming away, racing in third. Racing in fourth, that is She's a Magic Girl. And they're stacked up 3 deep here as they roll around the first turn. Away in 5, that is Southern Miss. 6th on the inside, there is Tis Now. 7th, that is Come On Frankie. 8th along the inside, that is Sarah Chili's Joust. And then we come back to the 2 trailers, which are Yankee Splash. As they race by the opening quarter, the opening panel in a blistering 26 3/5 as they pass the stands for the first time, and Max Gwen trails the field as they roll under the wire with 5/8 of a mile remaining. At Ombro Alto with the lead here. Bibione thought about it for just a second and placed right back in the 2-hole there as they race around the clubhouse, turn it on over to the half. On top, Ombro Alto, and Danny Noble is carving out the fractions here. Bibione is right at the garden spot, racing in 2 as they're halfway home. 56 4/5. A second panel with 30 1. Off the turn and setting sail down the backside, and Ombro Alto with the lead here to the outside, grinding it out first over the outside at the leader's wheel disc in 2. That is Southern Miss. Bibione is trying to go with them from third. Second over the outside, racing in fourth. That is Tis Now. Buried at the rail in 5 is Midway Dottie. Third over on the outside, racing in 6. That is Yankee Splash as they approach 3/4. 3/4 on the board in 126 flat. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. And to the outside, Southern Miss is trying to clear to the front end here. Ombro Alto is under a drive in second as they turn to the top of Power Alley. Less than 1/8 of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come of the afternoon cap. And on top, Southern Miss with the lead here is rocking away. To the inside, Ombro Alto is second. Bibione is charging on late, but as they roll within the final 16, Southern Miss is under wraps. Finishing second of the mile was the 3, Bibione. Third was the 9, Max Gwen. And to round out the super was the 8, Yankee Splash. The top of the mile, 156 2/5. Southern Miss out of the Virgil Morgan Jr. stable for driver Brett Miller. Trackside of the winner's circle, the official winner of the 13th and final race from off the second tier, number 10, Southern Miss. A 5-year-old bay mare by Tanner's Big Guy out of the Southern Music mare, she by Standing O. Zoned by the Darby's Edge stable of London, Ohio, trained by Virgil Morgan Jr., nicely handled here this afternoon by winning driver Brett Miller. That's 3 wins on this afternoon's card for Brett Miller, giving him a driving triple. So official, 10-3-9-8 is now official. Southern Miss pacing home a winner in 156 2/5. 10-3 exacta, $15 even. Late double, 8-10 returns $75. The 10-3-9 all super, $582.